Thanks to the Lord for the great years of service of Bishop Boland, and welcome Bishop-elect Hartmayer to the Diocese of Savannah. So the program for today will be Bishop Boland will speak first, and then Bishop Hartmayer will follow, and then we'll have questions following that. Bishop Boland.
For whom the bell tolls. I want to thank you for coming, and a very, very special welcome to the news media. This is a very special day in the ongoing history of the Diocese of Savannah. Your presence here, and especially the media also, with your technical savvy, makes it possible for the story to be shared with a vast audience. Your work and your calling is deeply appreciated. In 1790, there was only one Catholic bishop in the United States. He was John Carroll, the Bishop of Baltimore, and his jurisdiction covered all of the United States. Because there was no other bishop in the United States, he traveled to England to get ordained a bishop and then returned to the US. At that time, all of Georgia was under the ecclesiastical jurisdiction of the Archdiocese of Baltimore. As the number of Catholics grew, and because of the vastness of the territory, other dioceses were gradually established. In 1820, the Diocese of Charleston, South Carolina was established, and that diocese included all of Georgia and Florida. They were parts of the new diocese. It is an extraordinary coincidence, and one basically we had not planned, but on July the 19th, 1850, Pope Pius IX erected the Diocese of Savannah. This new diocese included all of Georgia, a good segment of Florida, with a total population of 5,500 Catholics. On this very day, our diocese, now consisting of the 90 counties of South Georgia, is 160 years old. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. This is a bit nostalgic, but this morning I got up at about 5 a.m. and prepared myself for this very special day. I was in the chapel at 6 a.m. and expressed a very simple thank you for the 16 years of Episcopal ministry in this Diocese of Savannah. At that very hour, my resignation as the Bishop of Savannah was officially published in the Vatican, and my new status as Bishop Emeritus took effect. Naively, I wondered if the chariot of Elijah would come rushing by, and that he would take me up to the heavens, and that my mantle would fall upon the shoulders of the newly elect. It didn't happen. Since our founding, we have had 13 bishops and 1 auxiliary bishop. When Atlanta was established in 1956, that auxiliary, Francis Highland, became the first bishop of Atlanta. I was bishop number 13, with emphasis on the word was. It is past tense. It happened as indicated at 6 a.m. this morning. I am now like an automobile running out of fuel, and I want to get the value out of the very last drop that's left. Before I mention by name, even though the internet has already sent it all over the world, our diocese is truly blessed with the nomination by Pope Benedict XVI of the 14th Bishop of Savannah. He belongs to a religious community of Franciscan conventuals, and he is only the second priest of their religious community to be made a bishop in the United States in the last 100 years. I leave it to his expertise to explain all the differentiations that exist in the different religious communities of men and women whose statutes and constitutions are all based on the life and times of St. Francis Assisi. In its history, the diocese has had 3 other bishops who belong to religious orders as distinct from diocesan clergy. From 1870 to 1872, our bishop was Ignatius Persico, who is a Franciscan Capuchin. Bishop-elect, he became a cardinal about 20 years after he left us. 1873, immediately following Bishop Persico, and for 12 years to 1885, William Gross, a Redemptorist, he laid the cornerstone of the cathedral behind us in 1873. He was the last bishop to be able to worship in the old cathedral in Drayton Street and in the new cathedral here on Lafayette Square. He was later transferred to become the Archbishop of Portland in Oregon. And finally, the third bishop, and now we have the 4th religious priest, was Michael J. Keyes, who is a Marist priest, Marist community. And here we have another coincidence. He was ordained a bishop on October the 18th, 1922, at the cathedral. 89 years later, on this very day, please God, we will ordain the newly elect as the 14th Bishop of Savannah. So they will share ordination days, but they will be 89 years apart. And now to the task and purpose of this press conference. Our new bishop-elect is Gregory John Hartmayer, OFM Conventual. He is a native of Buffalo and has been 32 years a priest. The first 16 years were primarily spent in Catholic high school education, and for the immediate past 16 years as a pastor in 2 different parishes in the Atlanta Archdiocese. And just very briefly, I'll read for you the statement that has been issued by Archbishop Wilton Gregory, the Archbishop of Atlanta. It reads as follows. Our Holy Father, Pope Benedict XVI, has chosen an outstanding priest and pastor from our Archdiocese to serve as the next Bishop of Savannah. Father Gregory J. Hartmayer, OFM Conventual, has been a respected member of the Presbyterate of the Archdiocese of Atlanta for more than 16 years, and he has won the esteem and affection of the clergy, religious, and faithful of this local church. He will bring with him the great spiritual heritage of St. Francis of Assisi and the pastoral experience to be a zealous and effective shepherd for the church in South Georgia. I wish him well in his new office, and I assure him of all the people of the Diocese of Savannah of the prayers and affection of all the clergy, religious, and faithful of the Archdiocese of Atlanta. May God, who has begun a good work in Bishop-elect Hartmayer, bring it to fulfillment. Over the past 2 weeks, Bishop-elect Hartmayer and myself have visited, prayed, broke bread, and I want you to know now and forever that God has blessed us with a new spiritual leader of immense talent and dedication, I have assured him that he is inheriting a diocesan family that will love him deeply and with great reverence. And so I take the opportunity. The sukketa is one of the symbols of the office, and I'm going to place this sukketa on the head of Bishop-elect Gregory Hartmayer, the Bishop-elect of the Diocese of Savannah.
Thank you, Bishop Boland. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence here this morning. We are in a city, as you know, of great history and great treasure with regard to the beginning of our country and the beginning and the growth of our church. Pax et bonum, favorite expression of St. Francis of Assisi, meaning peace and good. It's a greeting that has been characteristic of Franciscans. As you can imagine, since I received word that His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI appointed me as the 14th Bishop of Savannah, my head and my world have been spinning in opposite directions. I am extremely grateful to Pope Benedict for his confidence in me and in his election of me as Bishop of Savannah. My first thought that I want to share with you is that I am continually impressed with God's sense of humor and His incredible ability to surprise. I sincerely want to take this moment to thank God for yet another blessing in my life. I feel very fortunate to stand here before you in front of this magnificent and historic Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, our patron of this diocese. I am most grateful to my bishop, Archbishop Wilton Gregory, who is the Metropolitan Archbishop of Atlanta. He is an extraordinary person. He is a compassionate bishop and a loving shepherd to his priests and to the people of the Atlanta Archdiocese. I feel so fortunate to have served under him. He has been a genuine mentor and a trusting friend. As Bishop Boland mentioned, we have spent the last 2 weeks in great communication and with visits of me to Savannah. And last week we spent 2 days together at his residence, and they were work days. But with both of us having an Irish background, we interspersed our work with many stories. And before we knew it, it was time for another cup of tea. What a delightful man, Bishop Kevin Boland. The priests and the people of Savannah love him. And I can tell you without question that he loves you too. I have very, very large shoes to fill. Bishop Boland has been a priest in the Diocese of Savannah, as you know, for more than 50 years. Thank you, Bishop Boland, for your generous ministry to the priests and the deacons and the people of this diocese. Savannah will always be your home. I have been a conventual Franciscan friar for 42 years,